Hi, I'm Andrea Kanaris, founder of All Things Social Impact and host of Voices of Change, Stories That Matter. Now, here's a question we don't ask enough. Whose voices are really shaping ESG? Because if you listen closely, the loudest voices in ESG debates don't usually come from the most vulnerable. They come from the wealthy, the well-educated, and the powerful. And that's a problem. In planning meetings, consultations, and boardrooms, the people with the time, resources, and connections are the ones who dominate. Affluent communities can mobilize quickly. They have lawyers, lobby groups, networks, and they use those tools to make sure their concerns are heard and often prioritized. Meanwhile, the people ESG was supposed to protect, those on the margins, those who are most at risk, rarely get a seat at that table. They don't have the same access. They don't have the same volume. And as a result, their needs get drowned out. And when wealthy voices dominate, ESG becomes distorted. The E tilts towards preserving elite neighborhoods, not addressing climate injustice. The S gets twisted into compensation for inconvenience rather than protection for the vulnerable. The G turns into box ticking, transparency that satisfies investors but doesn't change outcomes on the ground. This isn't ESG as accountability. This is ESG as privilege protection. If ESG is to mean anything, it has to rebalance whose voices matter. Yes, communities with resources have a right to be heard, but they also have a responsibility to recognize their privilege and not block exchange that benefits society as a whole. And we need to amplify the voices that rarely make it into the room, the people living paycheck to paycheck, the renters worried about being priced out, the communities whose health and safety are on the line. Because if the loudest voices keep shaping ESG unchecked, we end up designing a system that entrenches inequality, not one that solves it. So next time you hear ESG talked about, ask yourself, whose voices are shaping this? If it's only the wealthy and the powerful, then ESG is not doing its job. It's not serving people, it's serving privilege. For ESG to deliver outcomes, it has to put the quiet voices, the vulnerable voices at the center. Because impact isn't about who shouts the loudest. It's about who needs protection the most. And if we can't answer that honestly, then ESG isn't just broken, it's complicit. Leave your comments below and remember, hit the like button, share, and subscribe.